All right, it's finally done. Not the Falcon Heavy, but this, where my finger points. The world map showing all of the active murders that are happening across the world at any given moment. No, actually, this is a world map with most of the major cities and locations that I've wanted to visit or intend to visit or have visited. But I never put the finishing touch of the place that I have visited compared to the places that I haven't. Now, the main reason that I did this was one, well, I've been wanting to do this for the last 5 years, and I built this from scratch with a bunch of junk from Amazon and foam core and battery-powered lights, which I can definitely show you exactly how to do that if you want to do it. But the main reason was I wanted to inspire more people to travel, and I wanted to show them that this is possible. A lot of questions I get when people see this is like, oh, how did you do it? And then it's like immediately to, well, you must be rich, you must have like a trust fund, or someone gave you the money to do it, or it's something about money, and then of course about time. I've actually met a lot of people traveling that have a family of 4 or 5, and they've done more than I have in some instances. So even though I am single, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not possible. I have seen people do it that have kids and have a family. But the bottom line was the money thing. How do you do it? You must have a lot of money to do it. And that's actually not true. Hey Google, turn on secret mode. So what I ended up doing was I wanted to figure out how to travel to all these places for as cheap as possible. And I actually watched this article called The 7 Million Mile Family. It was about a family of 5. The guy was a construction manager and the wife was a registered nurse. And they went to Australia. Actually, I remember these memories here. Bungee jumping in New Zealand for the first time. This is scuba diving for the first time, and who could forget sharding yourself on a subway for the first time in Kuala Lumpur. Wonderful. Well, the 7 Million Mile Family is what actually inspired me to do this. They were flying on points. They signed up for all these different coupons and stuff. And wow, Detroit's definitely been a heavily visited city for me. But what they did was they flew on points. So then I started signing up for different credit cards and flying on points. But that's not the only thing here. The actual expense without the points was on average $15,000 a year to visit about 25 to 30 countries per year. Now that might seem like a lot of money. Like, whoa, that's a huge expense, $15,000 a year. But I'm talking about everything. That's food, transportation, my car payments, like insurance, everything, for $15,000 a year. Now, how much do you need to earn to spend $15,000 a year? Well, about $15,000 to $20,000 a year, depending on tax write-offs. And people trying to make $80,000, $90,000, $100,000, $125,000 a year at their jobs and just barely scraping by, wishing they could do this. To be honest, you only really have to make $15,000 to $20,000 a year to do this. Now, there's another way to do it passively as well. If you could create a high earning passive income, maybe you rent places out like here at Airbnb, or maybe you have investments that make 10, 15, 20% a year. Just for the sake of doing a calculation, $15,000 a year at 20% a year, you only need to have $75,000 saved. Now, that might sound like a lot of money to save up, but $75,000, if you save $2,000 a month, which is a lot of money, I understand, but if you save $2,000 a month, that's 3 years you'd have that money saved. So in 3 years, if you could invest it at 20% a year, and I know these are all really crazy numbers, you would be able to travel the world passively forever if, of course, you had that money saved and you could guarantee 20% a year. Of course, that's not possible, but that's just a scenario that shows that it's actually somewhat possible. Of course, saving more money, earning more money is better, but that's what I want people to get out of this. All this was not done from handouts or anything like that. I did all of this through saving money and meeting friends and being able to stay. Like in Israel, I stayed with my friend for free. I got to fly with some friends on buddy passes. I got to use points to fly. I went from Detroit to San Francisco, all the way to Japan and then down to Singapore, and I stayed at the Marina Bay Sands. All of that for $5.60 with credit card points. So it's totally possible, and that's the main reason I'm making this video. I just want to inspire people to know that they can have all these experiences. These are all experiences. These aren't just check boxes. I mean, went to a really weird sauna with a bunch of Russian people that beat me with birch trees in Kazan. And over here was some awkwardness during Carnival, and had to carry my friends across the border, passed out, to get across to Argentina. But this is just, that's what I think is the most important part. It's the memories. And I really hope that everybody has a chance to experience all of these things, and I want to experience it with them as well. So good luck, everybody. If anyone ever has a question, just let me know, and I will message them, and I'll figure out a way to do this. I've already figured out it for a lot of my friends to help them out. Cheers.